holidays, Mundo Monday fans! A few weeks ago, we told you how cultures all over the Northern Hemisphere have holidays that celebrate light during this dark time of year. In the United States, people traditionally call everything from Thanksgiving up through the New Year the holiday season because of this. Many people think the holiday in question only refers to Christmas on December 25th. But while Christmas may be the most popular holiday of the holiday seasons in the United States, it is not the only holiday celebrating light this month. So we're going to spend the last 2 Mundo Mondays of 2020 looking at some of these other celebrations. The second most famous holiday of the holiday season in the USA, but not counting New Year's because that affects everyone whether you celebrate it or not, is probably the Jewish festival of Hanukkah, held this year from December 11th to the 18th. If you remember from September, the Hebrew calendar is based on the phases of the moon rather than the Earth's rotation around the sun. So the Jewish holidays, like Rosh Hashanah, fall on different days each year. Hanukkah begins on the 25th day of Kislev, or just before the new moon in what is usually December, and continues for 8 whole days, or nights more appropriately. But enough of me talking. Let's let our stories explain what Hanukkah is all about.
This story is called Meet the Latkes.
Wait. I was thinking of something educational. That looks a little silly. Are you sure this is really a book that explains what Hanukkah is all about?
Well, yeah, it does explain Hanukkah. Depending on who you listen to, at least.
That sounds confusing.
It's not really. I think you'll get the hang of it once we start. It's called Meet the Latkes, and it's written and illustrated by Alan Silberberg. Meet the Latkes! Meet the Latka family. They're just like you and me, except they're potato pancakes. That's Lucy Latka and her dog Applesauce. Hello! Woof! Mama and Papa are busy in the kitchen making fried jelly donuts or sufganiyot. Lucy's older brother Lex is reading comic books. Get out of my room, he shouts. Lex is a teenager. He doesn't care about anything. I don't care. But Lex should care, because tonight's the night, Lucy sings. It's the first night of Hanukkah. No, it's not. Oh, right. There's someone else in the Latka family. Grandpa! Hi there. Tonight's not Hanukkah, Grandpa says. It's Hanukkah. That's what I said. Lucy is confused. Hanukkah. Grandpa grumbles. Say it with me. Hanukkah. Actually, both Hanukkah and Hanukkah are right. The holiday's name is Hebrew, so there are different ways to spell it and say it in English. Hanukkah, Hanukkah. Thanks, Applesauce, says Lucy. Says Grandpa. Getting ready for Hanukkah, the Latte family cooks and sings, oh, dreidel, 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 and decorates the house, except for Lex. He still doesn't care about anything. I still don't care. Then, after the menorah is lit, and the dreidels are spun, and the gelt gets gobbled, see, it's chocolate, Grandpa plops Lucy onto his lap. Do you want to hear about the miracle of Hanukkah, my little Latka? I do, Lucy says, biting into her last chocolate coin. Grandpa begins with just a whisper. First, you need to know about the bees.
Bees?
Lucy asked. Grandpa nods.
Hanukkah is a celebration of how the Jewish temple was saved from destruction. We celebrate this holiday thanks to the brave bees who buzzed and stung and fought to keep our people safe.
I'm pretty sure there aren't any bees in the history of Hanukkah or Hanukkah.
Feh, said Grandpa. Whose story is this?
Lucy's eyes widen.
Were the bees big, Grandpa? Big? They were huge, giant. They were mega bees.
You mean Maccabees?
Nope, Grandpa says definitely mega bees. And the biggest, bravest bee of them all was Judah Megabee.
Judah Maccabee. He was a mighty warrior and heroic Jew who lived in Israel more than 2,000 years ago. And there were no bees.
But Lucy can see it now. Judah and his swarm of giant bees buzzing and stinging and fighting to save the Jewish temple and the lives of everyone who worshipped there. Pow! And who do you think Judah and his big bees were battling? Grandpa asked.
That's easy. It was
alien potatoes from planet Kuh! Grandpa booms.
No.
Yes.
This is ridiculous.
Zip, zap, zowie! Grandpa continues. Outer space spuds invaded Earth. Lasers shot from their eyes, and they had lots of eyes. Everyone was doomed. Help!
Are you kidding me? The enemy wasn't a bunch of alien potatoes. It was a terrible king named Antiochus. Antiochus demanded that everyone believe in the same religion as he did. Applesauce goes on. So for the Jews, that meant no more studying Torah, no more celebrating Shabbat, and never again worshiping God. King Antiochus and his followers almost completely destroyed the Jewish temple. He was a tyrant. Bonk. Yep, I was.
Yes, a tyrant, agrees Grandpa. Judah and the mega bees were trapped by those evil tater tyrants from planet Ch. Prisoners in their own hive. They had only enough honey to last one day.
Running out of honey? No! They were running out of oil. They needed oil to keep the temple's eternal flame burning. And they weren't bees.
Shh! The mega bees plotted and schemed, Grandpa says. And the next morning, when the sun rose on the temple, an enormous wooden dreidel stood in the village square. What could it be, the alien potatoes all wondered? And why does it buzz? Lucy waved her arms. I know! The mega bees were hiding inside the dreidel! Smart Latka, cries Grandpa. Plits, plats, plots! The mega bees burst from the dreidel and sliced and whipped and mashed those tater tyrants into tatters. Tater tyrants? Lucy asked. Try saying that 3 times fast, Grandpa says. Tater tyrants, tater tyrants, tater tyrants. And then, miracle of miracles, Grandpa said. Judah Megabee stood in the middle of all those spoiled spuds. What a waste, he said. And so that great warrior added some egg, an onion, and a pinch of flour to make something good from the bad. Potato latkes. Us? Us.
Oi. Lucy's eyes and mouth were open wide.
So the miracle of Hanukkah is that a long time ago, mega bees turned alien potatoes into latkes? Is that really true?
Of course it's not true. The miracle of Hanukkah is that not only did the small group of Maccabees protect their temple from King Antiochus's powerful army, but also the tiny bit of oil left to light the holy menorah didn't last for just one day. That oil kept the eternal light bright for 8 whole days. Lucy points to her family's glowing menorah. 8 candle holders. 8 days of the Hanukkah miracle. And the shamus, the tallest candle to light all the others. You know what, said Grandpa. I like the dog's miracle better. Me too, says Mama. Me too, says Papa. Oh, I don't care, says Lex, stuffing his face with chocolate guilt. Lex, you left your room, cries Mama. It's another Hanukkah miracle. Hanukkah! Grandpa pats applesauce. Now that we all know the Hanukkah story, he gives a wooden dreidel a little spin. Who wants to hear about Passover? Oh, I do. I want to hear about Passover now. Well, good news. Meet the Matzah is coming out next March, right before Passover. But that's not until March, so now that you've heard the story of Hanukkah, which was the real story, Grandpa's or the dog's? Which do you think it was? Anyway, now that you've heard it, let's read a story about someone who is not a potato pancake, actually celebrating Hanukkah. This one takes place over 100 years ago, when many Jewish immigrants were leaving Eastern Europe to come and live in America. It is called Simon and the Bear, a Hanukkah tale. It's written by Eric A. Kimmel, who also wrote one of my other favorite Hanukkah books. It's a Caldecott Medal winner called Hershel and the Hanukkah Goblins. Check that one out sometime. But this one is also illustrated by Matthew Trueman. Simon and the Bear, a Hanukkah tale. When Simon set out for America, he promised his mother and brothers and sisters that he would work hard and save money. As soon as he could, he would send tickets for all of them. Simon's mother lovingly packed his knapsack for the journey. She put in hard-boiled eggs, salted herring, and 2 loaves of black bread heavy as stones. But because Hanukkah was coming, she added something extra. I've packed a little menorah, a box of candles, matches, a dreidel, and plenty of latkes, she said, holding back her tears. Wherever you are, Simon, don't forget to celebrate Hanukkah and its miracles. Who knows? You may need a miracle on your long journey. Simon took the train to the seaport. There he managed to get the very last ticket for a ship bound for America. His bunk was in the hold, with 300 other people packed together like herring in a barrel. When the ship sailed, the barrel began to roll. For days on end, the ship rolled one way, and then another. There was little to eat, but no one felt like eating. Simon didn't mind the noise, the smell, or the rolling of the ship. Every roll brought him closer to America. One night, Simon felt the ship lurch. He heard sirens and people yelling, "Everyone on deck!" Simon grabbed his knapsack and ran on deck with the others. A gigantic wall of ice loomed out of the sea. Its surface sparkled like diamonds in the moonlight. "An iceberg!" Simon heard the sailors shouting. But the ship had struck this floating ice mountain, and now it was sinking. Simon stayed on deck helping people into the lifeboats until only one lifeboat remained. Simon climbed in. The sailors began lowering away. "Oh, don't go! Wait for me!" shouted a man in a fur coat as he ran across the deck. "No room!" the sailors shouted up to him. "The boat is full! We'll sink if we take one more person!" The man's face fell. He tossed his watch to Simon. "If you get to New York, give this watch to my little boy. My name is on the back. Tell him Daddy loved him." The watch felt heavy in Simon's hand. "This isn't right," he thought. "That little boy will grow up without his father, and I know what that feels like." "Wait," he called to the sailors. Simon climbed out of the lifeboat. He returned the watch. "Get in, mister. Your boy needs you more than he needs a watch. I'll stay here." "You're very brave," the man said as he got into the boat. "I'll never forget you." Simon stood alone on the deck as the lifeboat rolled away. The sinking ship groaned and its bow lifted into the air. Simon grabbed his knapsack and leaped from the rail just before the ship slipped below the dark water. Simon landed on the iceberg. He looked up at the moon and said, "Now I'm truly alone. I will die here." He thought sadly about his mother. Then he recalled her parting words. He straightened up. "Tonight is the first night of Hanukkah, a time of hope. I won't give up. I'll even light a candle. Who knows? A miracle may happen for me, just as one happened for the Maccabees long ago." Maccabees, not Megabees. Simon took out his menorah. He said the blessings and lit the shamash in the first candle. Then he spun his dreidel. "Gimmel's the winning letter," Simon murmured as he watched the dreidel spin. "But I don't need Gimmel. I need Nun. It stands for Nez, miracle. Come on, dreidel, give me Nun. Give me a miracle." Simon spun his dreidel again and again. At last it fell on the letter Nun. By then, the candles had burned out. In the darkness, Simon heard a splash nearby. Then he made out a ghostly shape swimming toward him. It pulled itself onto the iceberg and shook all over. Simon found himself staring into the face of an enormous white bear. The dreidel dropped from his hand. The bear sniffed at it. Then she sniffed at Simon's knapsack. "Are you hungry, bear?" Simon said brightly, trying not to show his fear. Slowly and carefully he opened his pack. "Have I got a treat for you?" he said. He handed a latke to the bear, who gobbled it down. "Delicious, isn't it? Have some more," Simon cooed. "Better to eat the latkes than to eat me." After 2 more latkes, the bear was still hungry, so Simon gave her his black bread and herring. She didn't care for the hard-boiled eggs. Simon ate those himself. Then the bear lay down on the ice and went to sleep. A cold wind blew across the ocean, and Simon shivered. "I wonder if the bear will let me get close to her out of the wind." He crept over to the bear, snuggled against her fur. The bear growled in her sleep. She stretched her paw over Simon as if he were one of her cubs. Simon closed his eyes. He slept safe and warm that night. When Simon awoke the next morning, the bear was gone. He felt lonelier than ever. Will she come back, he wondered? For what seemed like hours, he stared out at the empty horizon. Then he saw something white bobbing on the waves. It was the bear, swimming towards him. The bear climbed back on the ice. Simon saw that she had a fish in her mouth. She skinned it with her teeth, and then, to his surprise, she bit it in 2 and gave him half. Simon cut it up with his pocket knife and tried a piece. "Not bad," he told the bear. "A little salty, like lox." He and the bear ate the fish together. The bear went fishing again, and that night when Simon lit the second Hanukkah candle, his stomach was full. Over the next few days, the bear swam off in the morning to fish and returned in the afternoon with her catch. Every night, Simon lit 1 more candle in the menorah. He shared his latkes and entertained the bear with Hanukkah songs and stories. Then they curled up together to go to sleep. This is truly a miracle. And not the only one, Simon said to himself. He counted the miracles on his fingers. He'd gotten the last ticket. He'd found a place in the lifeboat. He'd saved a man's life. He'd jumped on the iceberg, not on the ocean. The bear didn't eat him. She brought him food. She kept him warm. 7 miracles! Simon looked out across the sea. It will take another miracle for me to be rescued. Is 1 more too much to ask for? The last night of Hanukkah arrived. Simon lit the candles. As they burned out 1 by 1, leaving him in utter darkness, he thought, I have no more candles, no more matches. Tonight we ate the last latke. My knapsack is empty, no bread, no eggs, no herring. Maybe the bear will swim away tomorrow. Then no fish. I will surely die of cold and hunger. Simon shivered as the moon rose over the cold sea. I've run out of miracles, he said. Suddenly the bear stood up on her hind legs. She sniffed the air. Dropping down, she jumped into the ocean and swam away. Bear, where are you going? Don't leave me, Simon called after her. Immediately, he heard other voices. Ahoy, you on the ice! Stay where you are, we've come to rescue you! A passing ship had seen the light of his Hanukkah candles and sent a boat to investigate. Simon had his 8th miracle. He was saved. The ship brought Simon to New York. His story appeared in all the newspapers. Simon became a celebrity. The mayor gave him the key to the city, and the mayor was the man in the fur coat. Boy hero found alive. You saved my life, the mayor told Simon. Well, what can I do for you? Find me a job so I can bring my family to America? Simon asked. I will buy their tickets today, first class, the mayor promised. As for a job, I have one I think you'll enjoy. Just as the Hanukkah menorah has one extra candle, the Shamus, so too did Simon receive one extra miracle. The mayor found him the perfect job, polar bear keeper at the Central Park Zoo. Which goes to show that miracles aren't just for the Maccabees, Simon told his friends and family every year at Hanukkah time. They can happen to anyone, anywhere, even in the darkest times. You just have to believe.
Well, Mundo Monday fans, it is not quite Hanukkah yet, and it won't be by the next time I see you. But we still have lots of other light holidays to talk about before I say goodbye to you for this year. So, until next week,
wishing you some miracles and lots of light.
Goodbye! Why is the light so bright? Because we're talking about light! Ha ha ha! Okay.